Now we'll discuss chapter 5, acids, bases and salts. So first of all, what do you mean by acids, bases and salts? They are substances but they have specific natures, which we'll study later in this chapter. But first we'll start with this introduction. We come across a lot of substances in our daily lives. Some substances are sour, some substances are bitter, some substances are sweet, some substances are salty, some are tasteless, some are odorless or without smell, etc. So now we'll take a detailed look at this topic, acids and bases. So what are acids? The substances which taste sour are called acids, because they are acidic in nature. Because if you taste them, it will be very sour. The taste of a tamarind, it's not sweet, it's not salty, it's not bitter, it's sour. So somewhere in between. These substances are known as acids. However, it's dangerous to taste all chemicals. The substances which are bitter in taste and feel soapy to touch are called bases. And that's why they are called as basic in nature. There are special type of substances which are used to test whether a substance is acidic or basic. So these substances are called indicators, because instead of tasting them and risking our bodies by tasting them, we can use indicators. And indicators, they can easily indicate whether if there's an acid or a base involved in that particular substance. So that's why special substances which are used to test whether a substance is acidic or basic are called indicators. What do these indicators do? They change color when they are added to a solution, either in acids or bases. For example, turmeric, litmus, China rose petals, also known as gudal, are some examples of the naturally occurring indicators which we commonly use for testing for acids or bases. Now we'll study further with this topic, natural indicators around us. So first of all, we'll start with litmus. Litmus and natural dye. So litmus is the most commonly used indicator extensively all over the world. It is extracted from the lichens plant, like we studied earlier. Lichens is a combination of algae and fungi. The litmus, which is extracted from the lichens, it has a mauve or a purple color in distilled water. Litmus is also available in both paper form, known as litmus paper, and also in solution form, known as litmus solution. So in acids, the litmus changes from blue color to red color. And in bases, the litmus changes from red color to blue color. So this is an example of litmus being used as a natural indicator for testing for acids or bases. And apart from this, the solutions which do not change the color of litmus, they are known as neutral solutions. So these solutions are neither acids or bases. Turmeric is another natural indicator which we commonly use in our households. For example, if a turmeric stain on a cloth is washed with a soap, then it turns to red because the soap solution is basic. And we can also use petals of the China rose flower as an indicator. So China rose is also a very good useful natural indicator. In acidic solutions, it turns into dark pink or magenta. And in basic solutions, it turns to green. Then we'll study about this topic known as neutralization. So what do you mean by neutralization? When acids or bases cancel each other and form salts and water, it is known as neutralization. A neutralization reaction always produces heat. Now we'll take a look at a different indicator known as phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is also another useful indicator. This phenolphthalein, in acids, it becomes colorless. In bases, it turns into pink color. The salts which are produced by the neutralization reactions, salts may be acidic, basic or neutral in nature. Now we'll take a look at this topic, neutralizations in everyday life. In other words, we'll look at some applications of neutralizations. Number one, indigestion. Like we all have heard about somebody's stomach being upset. Like what happens is, suppose if we eat too much certain substances which are acidic in nature, and also our stomach contains hydrochloric acid, so our stomach is acidic in nature. So sometimes due to excess acidic nature, certain people might suffer from indigestion. So in those cases, certain substances like antacid, which contains magnesium hydroxide, MgOH whole twice, is taken. So this neutralizes the hydrochloric acid which is present in the stomach, and then it cures indigestion. Then we'll take a look at this ant sting. We all know about ants, the small insects. However, we all might have experienced certain ant bites. Even though these insects are small, their bites are quite painful for their size. It's because these ant stings, they contain formic acid. So that's why it pains for some time after the ant bite. In order to neutralize it, what we do is we generally rub it with moist baking soda, which is sodium hydrogen carbonate, or we can also use calamine solution and rub that affected area. The calamine solution contains zinc carbonate. So in this way ant stings can be cured. Then one of the common applications is soil treatment. Because plants cannot grow efficiently in either acidic soil or basic soil. Therefore, soil needs to be treated accordingly. So what do we do normally? When soil is acidic, it is generally treated with bases like quicklime, which is calcium oxide, or slake lime, which is calcium hydroxide. If the soil is basic, then the organic matter is added to it, because these organic matter, they release acids and neutralizes the soil. And there's another application known as factory waste. What do you mean by factory waste? Factory waste are the waste material collected from the factories, either in solid forms or liquid forms or gaseous forms, before being released to the environment. However, if you release them directly without treating them, then they will pollute the environment, which is very, very dangerous to the environment and to our planet Earth. So therefore, these factory wastes, they are neutralized before being allowed to flow into the various water bodies to prevent damage to the aquatic organisms. And now there's a very important note known as acid rains. So what do you mean by acid rains? Because the whole world is facing the problem of pollution, because we are using a lot of automobiles, vehicles, chemical industries, different kind of industries. A lot of waste is being released in water, into the air. So definitely pollution is there worldwide, and the pollution has to be minimized as much as possible. Like in certain areas, when air pollution is too much, the air along with the pollutants and the water, the moisture in the atmosphere, they combine and they become acidic in nature, and they are precipitated in the form of acid rains, in the form of rains. But those rains, apart from containing water, they are containing acids, mild acids. In certain areas, the rainfall is more acidic in nature, which is highly corrosive. Acid rains are very dangerous to buildings and to all organisms present in those areas. So that's the reason why factory waste should be completely neutralized before releasing them to the environment, either to the atmosphere or to the water bodies or to the ground, so as to keep our environment friendly and safe. So in this way, we studied a lot of useful topics in this chapter: acids, bases and salts. You can also do some Google search and learn more about this topic. And if you have any doubts or suggestions, you can let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much. Have a great day.